I have spent $98.
If you've seen my last video, you'll know that I had to buy some new fluids for my daily driver BMW because of a wild story that transpired with an additive. While I was buying those fluids, it occurred to me that I've spent a whole lot of money fixing this car in the under 3 years I've owned it. Like a whole lot of money. But like anybody in the denial stage, I wanted to know the exact dollar amount so that I could prove to you and me that it really wasn't that bad and that I am a smart buyer. It's that bad, I'm not a smart buyer. In under 3 years of owning a 12-year-old German car, I have spent almost its entire value on parts alone, and that's not even counting the tools to do it. And it was totally worth it. Why? Well, today I'm gonna answer that question by taking you through every single expense that I've spent on this 2009 manual 328xi in the 3 years that I've owned it, category by category, so that you can maybe glean something for your own buying adventures. By the end, I'll show the grand total dollar amount and have my girlfriend react to it, assuming that I didn't already put that in the title to get you to click on this video. Let's start with the engine, which BMW has generally been known to excel at. I have done the ignition coils, the air filter, I've done the valve cover gasket 3 times, 1 valve cover gasket screw, 4 oil changes, spark plugs. The car went to the shop once for a solenoid issue, which shut the car off on the highway while I was driving, and then it went to the dealer after the 3rd time I was doing the valve cover gasket. I forgot to disconnect the battery and accidentally fried part of the power distribution management fuse or something like that. The car still leaks oil, leading to an engine total of $1,752. Fluids, motor coat, unfortunately enough, that was $86 of my life. Steering fluid, brake fluid, differential fluid, BMW genuine transmission fluid because I didn't realize that there were alternative off-brands, transfer case fluid, coolant, a Liqui-Moly additive kit that cost me $87.46. Don't know if that did anything. And an engine mount kit that I just realized I put in the wrong category. I haven't installed it yet. The car's vibrating a little bit at idle, and I figured why not make some content out of it. For a grand total of $390.98 and a revision of $1,852 for the engine category. Suspension. I have done the front struts and front strut accessories after I realized that they were not optional. Rear lower control arms because of an alignment. Sway bar links because of an alignment. Pretty much the entire front suspension also because of an alignment, but also because there was a knocking sound that I couldn't find for the life of me. Turns out it was this nut on the top side. Sometimes you hate your life. A tire discounter 5-year unlimited alignment policy, which I have abused. And then I had a shop replace the rear shocks because I blew them and I didn't know how to do them at that time, for a grand total of $2,063.01. Moving to the exterior, we find a lot of optional cosmetic things as well as some quite ridiculous things. So we've got some basic detailing supplies, 2 headlight bulbs, a windshield chip kit from when I bought the car, exhaust tips, 17-inch premium wheels because the 16-inch ones I thought were ugly. Bought them off Craigslist for $400 and then I had to buy tires to go with them. A single angel eye bulb for $65. Ceramic coating, which was about $100. I know the car is dirty as hell right now, but it's actually in pretty great shape. And finally, I had to pay a shop to install a new wheel when I bent one for a grand total of $50 because of America's crumbling infrastructure, for a grand exterior total of $1,401.80. Interior, we've got some more basic detailing supplies. The car was really dirty when I got it. It was a smoker's car. New junkyard cup holders because the old ones were broken, which is why they're black instead of beige. A cabin air filter, and then beige color match paint, which I was originally going to use to paint the cup holders to match, but I didn't end up using it for that. Instead, I used it to paint duct tape, which I then fixed the handle with, which was melting. Interior, $108.31. Finally, we've got the other category, the things that didn't really fit into another category. 6 cans of CRC corrosion inhibitor, a new skid plate because I ripped the old one off on a pole, 3 cans of fluid film, 6 skid plate screws, 4 jack pads, and a pad wear sensor for the front because apparently I installed the old one incorrectly when I was putting the wheel back together, and then my rotor ripped it off mid-road trip to Tennessee. And then finally, a shop did the rear brakes, all for an other category total of, I did not do that calculation correctly, this number right here.
No, because if I go like that, it's gonna swish.
All right, so Julia, I've gathered you here in the glorious minivan on this horribly horrendous shitty Ohio day. How much money do you think I have spent on my car in the time that I've owned it, in total?
In total, $4,500, give or take.
Nope, more than that. $8,000.98. If you count tools. If you don't count tools, it's something more like $6,000.98. That means that I have now, at least with tools included, spent $12,972.20, including tax on this car, in the 3 years that I've owned it. Do you think that's a bad deal?
Yes.
I don't necessarily think it is. Okay, so a couple takeaways. Is my car better than a car that you could buy for $12,000 that would have, say, like 70,000 miles on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that it is too, right? A car that has 70,000 miles is going to need these same repairs in like 30 to 40,000 anyway. My car's not going to need them for another 100,000, assuming that I don't have a bunch of other things break, foreshadowing. That said, if you want a manual, I had no choice. I had to go with that car. Second takeaway, doing work yourself makes money go way further. That said, another thing that goes along with doing repairs yourself though is f***ing up because you don't know what you're doing, which happens quite a bit. Third takeaway, tools, I don't know should necessarily count. I often bought tools because the cost of the part plus the tool was less than the cost of the shop repair. Tools can be useful in the future, however, if you don't have a way to store them, that's kind of an issue. And so if you live in an apartment, then certainly this doesn't make sense for you. Overall, I've had a lot of fun doing this process. Honestly, I would do it again in a heartbeat because I've learned quite a bit, but most people probably wouldn't, Julia here included. Oh, and one fun extra, my water pump's going out, so catch that on a upcoming episode of Michael's Cars where I hate my life for a second time.